former Blackpool manager and a top man has phoned in, Ian Holloway. All right.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Gabs. Jamie, how are you?
I'm
All
good,
good, mate.
mate. We're all good. Look, your former club today, a massive performance. They won 4-1 against a Premier League team. That's it's big news for them.
Oh, it's massive, mate. You know, I'm delighted for Nottingham Forest to get up with Steve Cooper, but I think we're a bit of their bogey team, do you know what I mean? And I'm delighted that the boys played so well today. Absolutely fantastic. It reminded me of that crowd, how they were when I was there. They were brilliant. So well done. Keep going. Michael, you'll get there. Fantastic. What I want to say as well, boys, I agree with you, Gabby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, mate. What you said about the Man United young fella is absolutely right. I don't think Fernandes, you got to sit with me here, I think he's a bad one.
Yeah, Fernandes does it as well. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so how can he be the leader of that team? I wouldn't have him as captain. Roy Keane's the leader, mate, because Roy Keane would pick you up, he'd shout at you, but he'd say, well done. When does Fernandes do that? All he does is moan.
Do you think he's setting bad examples, Ian? Do you think he's setting bad examples to the young lads that they think it's acceptable to do it?
He is, and this is my whole point. That young boy needs a proper captain, and I don't think he is. He's a great player, but he's a moaner, and they won't win anything with people like him in their team, in my opinion.
All right,
they need to get back to proper leaders.
Yeah.
You know, boys, you know, senior pros made you good pros. They did.
You've probably dealt with players like this in the past. What would you say to Garnacho? You know, if you see that happening on a football pitch.
I would say one thing to him, really. Look, son, there's three things you got to take in mind if you want to be a player. You got talent. God's given you that talent, but you got to use it. There's only three things that make you. They all start with the same word because it's the same word. Attitude, attitude, attitude. And Manchester United have won things because their previous fantastic manager would not accept bad attitudes at their club. They wanted to win, of course they did, but they all pulled together. And that young man's got talent, but he won't make it unless he is taught the right way. So I'm saying Fernandes
You're right, Ian.
is part of the problem.
You're right, and I said this a few months ago about Fernandes with the throwing the arms up in the air every single time. He could pass the ball out of play, and it's his fault. He'd throw his arms up to blame someone else, Fernandes. So where does that come from then? Does Ten Hag have to pull Fernandes and say, come on, these youngsters are copying you. You're not happy with Garnacho throwing his arms up, but he's 18, he sees you doing it. You know, you're giving a bad example.
How many times? And he hasn't done well. He got a brand new contract when he wasn't doing well. Some of the Man United things don't make sense, but Ten Hag's doing a great job. What he did with Marcus Rashford the other day, because Rashford overslept, was magnificent, right? And I'm so pleased to see Marcus do so well again. Players need a hand and they need help, but what I'm saying, a young man like that with all sorts of talent needs to earn his stripes. You're absolutely, totally right. Yes, he needs to back himself, but you need to do it the right way.
And Ian, there's a reason why he's been in and out the team. You know, he isn't getting the starts that he would like. Ten Hag's gone public with him about maybe his attitude at pre-season. Sometimes as a young lad, and you know you're a very good player, you can get ahead of yourself, can't you? But I just don't like that senior pros are disrespected like that. There was an incident where Rashford ran through, and I think Garnacho was on back post, but Rashford's touch was too big, and Godfrey got back and cleared it for a corner, and he was slamming the floor and like throwing his arms up in the air. I'm thinking, come on, this is Marcus Rashford. Have some respect for the older players.
What I'm saying, that is a total disrespect. You are telling the crowd that not that you wanted the ball. Oh, you should have given it to me.
Yes.
You're telling everybody else that he's useless. I wouldn't have it. And let me tell you, I met some tennis players, famous tennis players, the other day up in Scotland, Battle of the Brits. They're all gentlemen. They argue with themselves. They can't blame anyone else. They are totally professional. Some of these football teams, some of these lads, they need to think about what they're doing, and he needs to be got hold of right now and said, "Oi, you, how can you?" It's a bit like the Prime Minister, right? You can't have a party if we're not allowed to have one. So what is Fernandes doing? You know, so you have a right and a role to prove to this boy whose attitude ain't right.
Yeah.
Show him a good one yourself, because I'm sick and fed up of you throwing your arms around, moaning at everybody else.